Welcome to the second video on the new Quantify module about comparing scenarios in a given process. I must disclaim, there are several ways to create different scenarios in Skore. One way is to just duplicate a process in your workspace and then do Quantify separately. Here, what I'm going to show in this video is actually I have all the scenarios on the same process map. So if you remember the first video, we have the initial process steps, so get a project code, scan a receipt, input expenses, etc. And then what I've added here is another scenario where we have a new app that allows me to scan and record the expenses. That makes these two steps very easy. So now I'm trying to build a business case to know, all right, is it worth exploring this new app? How much money would I save? So what I've done to be able to compare that is each activity, I've tagged them using the custom fields. So I'm going to do one together with you. I've used the custom fields to say, all right, if a given activity is part of the one scenario that I called new expenses app or the no app scenario that I had in the past. So this activity is part of the two scenarios. So I've given it the two custom fields with the name scenario and the grouping new expense app. I could even add some commentaries, but they are irrelevant for what we're doing now. This box here is only part of the new expenses app processed flow, and this one is only part of the no app process flow, and then these activities again are part of the two. So I've tagged, I use the custom fields to mark activities are being part of one or the other scenarios, or actually both scenarios. So fairly straightforward. Also, what I did in my new box that I've added a quantify. So this new app is so awesome that it only takes 10 minutes per week for a consultant to take a picture of their receipts, and this app is so smart that it will just like fill up all the forms by default. It will select the dates, the currency, it will associate it to the right project code. Super cool, super easy. Let's have a look now at the impact on the costs and duration of my process. So I'm going to the new Quantify, and then in the settings panel at the top, I will open the criteria. And now instead of taking all the boxes into account in my process, I will just use the filter. And here I can see all my custom fields, and I can select which one do I want to use. So let's have a look at no app, the initial scenario. Let's have a look at the costs, and the cost is 112,000, is the same as we've seen in the first video. So it's quite an expensive process, as we already realized. So now let me uncheck this box, and now let's select new expenses app, and we see that everything refreshes in live. And we see that this scenario actually costs 60,000. So it's half of it. So I'm saving, by this new app, I'm saving 60 grand a month, 60 grand a year, just by having this new smart app. So basically, what I'm reading here is that the business case for this app is fairly straightforward. It seems to be such an efficient saving that why not go with it? I could also look at the duration if my worry is not really about the budget I'm spending, but more on the time. So here the time is about 400 hours with the new app. Let's have a look at no app. I was spending 765 hours per year. So also again, 300 hours saved. What could my consultants, accounting and manager do in all this time that is saved, not doing expenses? Could they do more billable time? So the way it works, to summarize, is using the custom fields. That's a feature that we have already. Using the custom fields to tag activity if they are part of one scenario or another. Here I've named my custom field scenarios, and the grouping, the name of the scenario, it doesn't matter. You can use it all any way you want as long as you can differentiate them. Going to new Quantify, using the criteria tab allows me to filter boxes. And this is all I wanted to demo in this video. So it may be very useful if you have some activities that you want to separate.